Hey everyone, today's video I want to talk about kick streamer. Except I've done like so many videos on kick streamers where it just feels so washed out. But this one today feels like an epic, like a story. Because not only is this crime, his whole criminal activity insane, where this streamer. I'll give you a quick story and then I'll dive into deeper why it's so fascinating. For one, this streamer, Shoovy, if you know the name, he, like a moron, back when Hurricane Milton was the biggest threat around that part of America, he went there to stay in a house, well, not really stay in, he broke into the apartment complex, stayed in one empty house that some people left, to evacuate for safety. And he was streaming it as well, and someone called the police on him, rightfully so, and they busted in and fucking arrested him. Well, now that story was a couple of weeks ago, like 2 weeks ago, and now the next development is that he's getting 30 years in prison for that crime, which in my opinion, I've got the same way as Frogan, in the last video, I've got no sympathy at all. I think he deserves that many years in prison. So that story by itself is insane. But second of all, anyone will find it crazy. But for me, I find it mind-blowing, because this is the same guy I made a video on last month where, like a fucking moron, he broke into a military camp, a training base, and while streaming as well, while doing a kick stream. He streamed himself trespassing into private property of the government, and also got arrested then. So now it's so insane to see him, back then, and now, simply a month or two later, doing a much worse crime, also getting, an insane, prison sentence of 30 years. Shoovy, this character Shoovy, right? I didn't hear the first time about it, about him breaking into an apartment. But now that I saw today, he's got 30 years. That makes it so much. Oh, by the way, he revealed himself, getting 30 years, because after he got arrested and the fucking body cam footage got released, after he was allowed to go back home, immediately, I think even right now he's still streaming, on his own kick. Let me find it. This guy. I'm so dumb. I was about to say for a second, God, respect the grind. But when he's still alive right now. How? Oh, this stream is so. He's just streaming himself driving home. It's just miserable. Let me watch this. Yeah, he's just streaming, just driving home miserably. What's the point? I was about to say, like I said, gotta respect the grind. But when someone's doing illegal shit like this, to the point that they ruin their life for 30 years, and there's no, I saw someone say on chat, if you get a good lawyer, you might be able to save yourself. But when you have a crime that bad of breaking and entering while streaming it with no good cause, what option do you have, honestly? Okay, so to go back, and also we must look him up because he has his own Twitter account. This character, this kid, he's 18 by the way, he's only fucking 18, and already his whole adult life ruined. This poor bastard, I feel like he's actually been bred to, turn out this way. Because for one, I knew that he was close to Ice Poseidon, because from what I remember, Ice Poseidon had a Hunger Games kind of stream, and Shoovy was a part of it, and that's what led to his career growth, him getting more popular. But now I'm seeing also FouseyTube being with him somehow. How do they meet? Also, by the way, shout out to Fousey for being shorter than an 18-year-old kid. Good job, Fousey. But it is actually insane. In his own Twitter account, everything's how crazy shit he's doing. At first it's him being banned, him meeting Fousey, and also with the money that and also he knows Aiden Ross. How the fuck does he know Aiden Ross? And yeah, even right here, Aiden Ross paid him $7,000 for some fucking dare, as says right here. So clearly this kid, he has connections with a bunch of big streamers that gets him popular. But as I'll soon talk about, as a reveal, his connections lead him to be getting fucked over massively. Because going back to Aiden Ross, the entire reason, oh, by the way, I just shout out as well, shout out to Tozy for this video, because it goes into like pretty deep into the story. And plus, from what I could find, his video that he has right now is the only like archive of the stream he had back in, back when during Hurricane Milton. Because when I went to his kick, it makes sense I couldn't find it because, you know, it would be taken down. But if you want to see like more of the stuff he did on stream, like a moron, go watch the video. But from what the story seemed to be like, Aiden Ross, he gave a challenge to two of the streamers, only those two streamers, where he would pay them $70,000 to stream at was it Florida or Tampa during Hurricane Milton, to be like, you know, try to survive. Okay, it wasn't that dangerous, but you know, it was more like a high school dare of, you know, doing something crazy. And I really want to emphasize, you know, how important it is that it was only for those two streamers, because Shoovy, like a moron, he interpreted that challenge as being for anyone. So if he himself went to Florida and stayed there during Hurricane Milton, he might also get paid as well. And he did. He actually went there, believe he would get paid. And from what I saw, like, I didn't see Aiden Ross, you know, shout him out. So clearly, you know, he wasn't actually agreeing on it, but he still did it anyways. And from there, he, you know, like the fucking criminal he is, his only method of staying there safely is to trespass into like an apartment complex and stay in one of the rooms. Okay, first of all, you know, that is shitty, you know, like breaking and entering. But second of all, I think it's much more shittier to like trespass on a place when people are evacuating for their own safety. And you fucking walk in, you know, like you make it your own home for your own advantage for a gay stream during a hurricane. And again, back to Tozy's video, he really is a moron. I think at some point he brought like a gas generator and a fucking Starlink Wi-Fi router to have internet, but like he would power it, like I said, with the gas generator. And if you have any brain cells, you would know that having a generator powered by gas inside a room, you'd feel woozy and then die. And which thankfully he didn't do it, because he called Ice Poseidon, he still knows him, and that big shot, instead of persuading, I mean, like, to be fair, to his credit, he did tell him like, okay, you know, probably not the smartest idea to stay there, but he you know, he knew he couldn't convince him, and he told him as well, you know, don't turn on the fucking generator, because you will get, you know, carbon monoxide poisoning and die.
I mean, if I was you and I was like really trying to get a stream going, I would risk it. I would turn on the generator at the bottom of the stairs and risk it. That's what I would do.
I mean, how bad could it be?
But, you know, one big detail that, you know, leads to him being arrested is, you know, clearly he was streaming it to what I can imagine to being like, you know, 5,000 viewers at least. So all it takes is one person around that area to recognize the apartment complex, call the police, and have them bust in and just fucking arrest them, which they did. I mean, like, even now, like, the footage of the body cam is released, and it's actually insane. Look, they go, you know, guns in first. I think, okay, I think whoever called in probably gave the police, you know, like a very violent image of like some psychopath, which is why they walk in with fucking guns pointed. But you know, it's some 18-year-old, like, he's not that violent. There's no need to put a bullet in his brain. My god, they're grappling him. I think even at some point, like, one of them asks him, like, what the fuck are you doing here?
Bro, I'm cooperating. What are you doing, dude?
I mean, okay, if I was a police officer, I'd be so pissed off, you know, being forced to stay in Tampa or whatever city this is in, and be like, okay, I can, you know, evacuate home, so I have to do my job. And this piece of shit teenager, this 18-year-old, is forcing me to go out, you know, and during bad weather and arrest them and take them to the police station. When otherwise, I just want to be with my family. Let me actually find, you know, like the full video, because I want to give credit. You know, they worked very hard to arrest this fucking dumbass teenager, this Shoovy. No, but like, it really is, you know, annoying. Like, imagine being, like, that was another thing I realized. I think nowadays, the whole nature of streaming, especially on Kick, is breeding these kids, these teenagers, to do the dumbest shit possible. And once they get into like a police car, they have no reaction, cause they're expecting it and they're so phased out by it. Even in this video, like, just like, well, like, if you look at the face of Shoovy, it might be like, you know, like you might be in shock, you know, just being miserable, but at the same time, any normal person would be much more depressed being in the back of a police car, and also, you know, knowing they would get like years in prison for this, because there's no way to defend it. But again, like I said, you know, most people do this kind of dumb shit, breaking and entering, to get views on Kick or in the stream. So once they get arrested, they're like, well, it was bound to happen. Here you go, I found it. It's by New York Detective on YouTube. And this video is like 80 minutes long. Holy shit. Like every step just miserable, this guy. Also, you know, it's even much worse knowing that he has a background that with, you know, with police. Because back when he broke into a military camp, he got arrested, and now, you know, not only is he used to it, but from the perspective of the police, they're like, okay, you're definitely gonna get time in prison because this is your second offense. You know, pretty soon after, you know, that trespassing in a military camp. So already you're getting a much worse deal, you know, a much worse outcome. And from there, getting to your clothes, you know, he went to the police station, and like I said, you know, recently, like just a couple of hours ago, or just yesterday, he was released, and now he's just driving home. I'm not sure what do you call it when you get booked in, you're before trial, and you're allowed to go home before, you know, they fully, like, you know, put you on a prison sentence. Is it bail? I'm not sure if it's bail, but yeah, there you go, you know, just driving home. And okay, I think, you know, the adrenaline, the news, you know, would make him pretty hype up, because as a streamer like him that relies on big drama to get popular, that of course, you know, he's not, you know, like that miserable about it. But I promise you, within a week, within 2 weeks, he's gonna realize, holy shit, I'm gonna be in prison for 3 decades, for most of my life actually. My fucking god. And plus, imagine his parents. I don't care if I'm treating him like a kid, because from his point of view, he probably thinks he's on top of the world. You know, he's a huge, you know, news streamer. He's making a shit ton of money, getting a shit ton of viewers. He just bought a new car, like this one right here. Holy shit! I'm on the caption, only 18. Fuck off. And he's probably making more money than most adults. He's probably making more money than his parents. So, you know, he probably believes he's a fucking god. So it's stuff like this where I don't wish someone, you know, getting that much life, especially, you know, this young. But at the same time, like, you need like humbling stuff like this to just like put them down a peg, and, you know, make them come back to reality of what they did actually fucked over their life. Which only makes it worse when you realize he did this for like 70k, or from his belief, he'd get 70k. And like I said, he wouldn't, because the challenge that Aiden Ross gave to the two streamers wasn't for him, it was for 2 other people. And, you know, but he believed that, yeah, he would get the money for himself. And even if it wasn't for money, he wanted it for the views, for the attention. So all that stuff, you know, sounds pretty nice, but in comparison, in hindsight, through 30 years, anyone in that position, like, you know, like, no matter how hungry they are for attention and fame, we can all agree that's the worst trade-off, like the biggest risk for the smallest gain ever. And now he really did get, you know, the biggest loss possible. That's just so shitty.